It is me.
It's you. It's you. It's so completely you.
Okay, we're done with Link stuff. Or at least using Link full.
Don't be a stranger.
Shut up.
Be as strange as I want. Be as strange as I want. Yeah, we sound fine.
Yay!
Valentine is here.
Hello!
Hello.
Your prince won't let you down.
Did you want to keep playing with the motorcycle or?
Do we still need to do more with said motorcycle?
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah.
Okay.
I will keep chipping away at the motor of the cycle. You guys don't usually stream around this time.
Yeah, no.
Having a nice day? Yes, we are.
Yep.
We just got back from our anniversary dinner. Dating this episode, but I do not care.
Marvelous.
Indeed.
Oh, the rain's picking up.
Good. We really need some rain.
Whoa!
Oh, wow. That is like...
Really picking up high.
That's like more than just picking up. It's like... Hey, I'm just dumping a bucket of rain on your heads.
Hooray! Please do. This smog is awful. You ready?
No, I'm still sharing
Wah.
sharing the video to all the appropriate places.
Places.
Valentine says happy anniversary.
Thank you. Year 8.
Yep. Doesn't feel like it.
No, it
But
doesn't.
at the same time, it totally feels like it.
To be honest, it feels longer.
Yep.
In a weird way.
Well, I mean, we have been dating for, 9 years this November.
Yeah.
Wait, it's raining where you're at
Yeah.
as well? You've been having severe rain and tornadoes over here. Well,
Ooh.
I don't want the tornadoes, but we've been so engulfed in the fire smog from California. We've been
Desperately
aching for
needed.
rain for almost a week and a half
Because
now.
the area of Utah we're in is like a valley bowl that just holds all the crap it from the air inside of it. Like,
So-
I like this. It's mine now.
Yep, inversion. The area of Utah we live in, yeah, it gets really bad inversion. And we have it normally just from cars, but to top off all the smoke settling,
From Cali and from Oregon. And
I mean, a city in our general area actually was listed as the worst air quality in the world for a while. So what's our objective here?
kill a monster.
Oh, okay.
Great vicious monster or whatever. We gotta find it, I guess. But you go ahead and just kill enemies.
Yep. So, yeah, really... Oh, shit!
Well, alright
Okay,
then,
it sounds
demons.
like someone's like...
Trying to break in. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, it's like someone's got a hose pointed at our door.
We locked the door, right?
No.
Oh. I should have got locked out a little bit in
Yeah.
this battle, so...
Yep.
Because, yeah, I could see that.
Accidentally blowing the door
Yeah.
open.
It's happened before.
Yeah. And again, still, considering the fact that Valentine's dealing with tornadoes, we probably shouldn't be complaining about bad
No.
air quality. So,
It's its own problem, but yeah. Kill it,
I
Sidon.
like to ride my bicycle. I like to ride my bike.
Fear my Sharky boy, for he's a Sharky boy.
The rain is great here too. We've been having really bad heat waves for about 2 weeks. I
Yeah.
had several heat strokes from the... Oh, I am so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, those are... Whoa.
Yeah, first apartment complex we lived in was so old and so poorly ventilated. We got heat stroke just from living in our apartment because our AC didn't work right. I mean, it barely counted as an AC. It was a glorified fan.
It really was.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, it also doesn't help that, especially here, again, in conjunction with the heat wave. I mean, because we were also in the middle of a heat wave before the smoke started pouring in. But, heat wave, smoke started pouring in, and then some idiot started a fire here in Utah as well. So that made everything worse. And again, with the smoke and the heat wave, everything is brittle and dried out. So it's perfect to catch fire. I mean, I don't know why I'm complaining. I've said on multiple occasions I'd rather live in a place with dry heat than a hot and humid place. So I should shut my mouth because I have exactly what I wanted, I guess. Okay, go. No complaint. No, complain away. I live in Georgia, so the hurricane that came to Florida or anywhere around here, our area, we always get the after effects of storms. I believe ya. Yeah, the only time I ever experienced a hurricane was when I was so little that I don't remember it, because my family lived on, excuse me, the East Coast for a couple years. I don't remember how many. It wasn't that long.
Shark.
I just, my earliest memories are from when we lived in Virginia. Just unfortunately, they are such early memories, I honestly can't say I actually remember anything. And I sneeze so hard my neck now hurts. What? When did you guys get a motorcycle? Oh, I wasn't here for that.
Oh, like last stream, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this was something that was added with the first DLC pack that we got. Since we did get the season pass. Which makes, it's fitting because this motorcycle was added in one of the first packs of DLC for Breath of the Wild, so it's fitting.
There he is. He's being lost in the mess.
I believe this motorcycle is loosely based on the car that they added to Mario Kart 8 when Link was added as a guest character. Emphasis on the words loosely based. It's not that close. Although they might have added this motorcycle to the Switch port of the game. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've played it.
Okay.
I barely killed anything.
Shoot. Sorry, I thought I delayed enough on killing the boss.
The only thing we're missing is a children's card game.
Right!
Card games on motorcycles. I'll forget the door.
Thank you.
Welcome. Holy shit, man.
How bad is it?
Our walkway is actually flooding a tiny bit.
Oh, fun! Ooh, lightning! Random update. Our sidewalk's flooding. Okay. I'll trade you.
Yeah.
Hold up, I have to be shown the rain. Apparently it's supposed to storm like this all week.
I would not be opposed to that. Now, it is... We haven't had rain this...
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. We have not had rain this intense in a long time. Ooh, I hope our old apartment complex isn't flooding.
It probably is.
Yeah.
Your windows are rolled up and crown and stuff, right?
Yeah, I never... Unlike my dad, I don't care how hot it gets in my car. I always leave the windows rolled up all the way because I don't want people getting in or getting rained on or whatever.
I mean, he has a garage, so, he can. But...
Be honest, did either of you ever play Yu-Gi-Oh as a kid? We still play Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yep.
Not as much as we used to because, quite frankly, I feel the game has gotten too over-reliant on theme decks and archetypes to win. I mean, don't get me wrong, archetype decks have always had an advantage, but it's gotten kind of ridiculous in my humble opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, we still play Yu-Gi-Oh! To a lesser extent. I think we each have like 6 decks each.
Mm-hmm.
They're several years out of date, but that's another reason why we kind of stopped collecting and stopped playing with other people, because it wasn't worth the expense anymore. It's like, perfect, I got this deck assembled, and I got, I paid all the money to do it, and now it's outdated. Now it's like, oh, I've now got to get 4 more cards.
That are
brand new.
Probably like $20 if you want to buy them on their own and not just buy packs on.
Yeah, I think
like mad.
Like, I don't remember what it was, but right before I finished collecting, there was a new card that was added to the Dark Magician or just Spellcaster archetypes, where it functions similarly to the card Honest, but for Spellcasters. And it's like, okay, that's like a must-have, especially if you're going up against beatdown decks, and it's like, it was like $40 just to buy on its own.
Yeah. It's why I kind of just stuck with making decks only with archetypes and only barely adding extra cards to them.
Yep, just for funsies. We mostly just played with each other.
Yeah. I wanted to write a fanfic at one point.
Yeah, well, we both had a basic premise, but problem was just everything just kept getting added to the decks. I mean, yes, I know that them adding more cards does not right affect the fanfic, but lost interest in it is more what I'm getting at.
I need to see if they've added any more cards to the oh shit, what was their name?
Spellbook?
Yeah, the spellbook deck.
Oh, shoot, am I drifting? I can't tell. Oh, I'm drifting. Yeah, I need to see if they have added any more cards to Arcane. Well, I just know what made me sad is that some of my favorite cards that stopped getting proper support added to them, or were phased out to the point of irrelevance. So it's like, nah, no thanks.
Yeah.
Plus, I just kind of felt they were a little too obsessed with, like, this past, 6 years, they were too obsessed with doing more Dark Magician, Blue Eyes, and Red Eyes stuff at the expense of everything else.
Yeah.
Then again, those were probably just the only ones I noticed because they were the only ones I cared about, because I didn't really care about any of the new stuff. I digress. Point is, I've always been a casual fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's see. Got into Yu-Gi-Oh! Even when I played or watched the show. I still don't understand it. You wouldn't be the only one. It doesn't help that the show in particular never really stuck to the rules at all. Like, I remember it was funny me thinking, it's like, yay, 5Ds. It's a season that actually, for the most part, follows the rules and uses real cards and doesn't just make up shit. But then I'm like, well, that's only true half the time, because anytime they're on a motorcycle, they're just making shit up, and the cards aren't real. Actually, I think that's the reason why the final arc of Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D started to suck, because they started making up cards for the villains rather than just using real cards and real archetypes.
Yeah. That's why I really enjoyed just reading the Gashapon card stories.
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever they were. Was it a Gashapon or a Pachinko?
I don't know what you're talking about.
The ones my cards are based off of. Like the one with a bunch of archetypes involved. Like the Shaddolls and stuff.
Oh, the Hidden Arsenals.
Yeah. Wasn't that like a Pachinko machine that story was?
I don't remember how those cards were distributed in Japan, but it was a separate, for lack of a better word. So in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Universe card lore or whatever, there was this is the main universe of the cards or whatever. But then there was the Hidden Arsenal continuity, which was completely separate from everything else, and each new archetype that came out expanded on the story of said world. Because I think it was supposed to be the ice barriers characters were one of the first. They were protectors, but then they got rooted out by the eel swarm virus or something like that.
Yeah.
And then the tribe split and became the Gishki and the maybe it's Mist Valley that became. Well, the point is, then they became.
Mist Valley became something else. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they became 2 separate tribes. One you know, became like really powerful wind mages, and the other became Lovecraftian style abominations as they used dark magic to fuse themselves with sea life. Played Magic the Gathering once. I refused to ever again. Not a fan of Magic myself. Less because of the game itself. I thought the game was okay, but I didn't like it because I felt just an extreme sense of elitism from people who, at least around here, who played Magic. Who were like, oh, you play Yu-Gi-Oh? Well, I play Magic. If you know what I mean. And then, because I had one friend who, it's like, he tried to teach me Magic, and I tried to teach him Yu-Gi-Oh! But it didn't seem to matter how many times I told him, he kept trying to be like, so, does this rule for Magic apply? I'm like, okay, I've told you this like 7 times already. The answer is no. So I know it's a weird thing to harp on, but just anytime I'm playing a game with a friend, or friend, quotation marks, and I feel like I have to explain the same thing 7 times over and over, especially if it's a very basic thing. I'm like, okay, are you actually listening to me, or are you just being rude and zoning me out? Because, like, again, in this particular case, the thing that I was explaining to him was the rules of playing a single card, like just putting a monster on the board. And I had to explain to him how it worked every turn. I'm like, you are not listening to a word I'm saying, are you?
Oh, I'm dying. Eat this.
My experience was a sexist one. Oh, it was a sexist one where I was constantly verbally abused or grossly harassed as I tried to play. Yeah, no, that sounds awful. And I totally 100% believe that would happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I've had some kind of sexist experiences in Yu-Gi-Oh! Too. Luckily,
I think it's just the unfortunate culture in general
really
from that
is.
time period anyway.
Yeah, like I went to a tournament with my buddy, because he was playing it and he's like, "Why don't you try?" And I'm like, whatever, fuck it."
Not realizing just how asshole-ish that community can be.
And yeah, it was just not a fun experience. I felt bad for the kids in the tournament too, because there was just a bunch of adults who spent way too much goddamn money on their decks.
Because they could afford to.
Yep, and it's just like, and even me, like, I felt bad when I beat the kid too, because it was like, oh, I just threw these cards together from like a bunch of shit my brother just slowly collected from just card packs. Like, so none of it was bought from online stores. I felt really bad about it.
Yeah.
But it was a good warrior deck at the time.
Well, that's because, you know, that was back when attack points actually made a big difference, and warriors were definitely
it was
the
right
go-to
at the beginning of
beatdown
5Ds,
deck.
if I'm remembering right. Or
Yeah.
maybe like the middle of 5.
No,
'cause
it was the end of GX, since you said the guy who beat you used a Crystal Beast
No,
deck.
he used a Crystal Beast deck, but that was when, like, the boosters that they offered, you know, for paying in or whatever, they were a bunch of, like, the...
Oh, wait, that's what...
what was that stupid 5Ds thing that was like, oh, it's a boost mode or something?
Oh, assault mode?
Yeah, it was
that was
assault.
Crimson. That was Crimson Crisis. That was something that never caught on.
It was so dumb. I was reading the cards, and I'm like, from all I know from Yu-Gi-Oh, this makes no goddamn sense.
Actually, it wasn't terrible. The problem is with a good chunk of the cards, their assault modes were actually worse than their normal modes.
Oh my gosh, this bastard.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't mind assault modes because my favorite card in the whole game is Arcanite Magician. And he was one of the few who actually had a good assault mode. It wasn't perfect. There were a few things about it that were arguably worse than his normal mode. Excuse me. Ugh, okay, the rain is kicking dust in the air and it's making me sneeze. Something awful. Okay, sorry. Need to pause to read this. Let's see. Sadly, there's a real big guys-only culture and a lot of activities like card games, D&D, and a lot of video games.
Yeah.
Oh, no freaking joke. Like, so there's
and yet they're like always like, where are the girls?
Yeah, it's like, oh, hot girls aren't into games. It's so
scare them off.
I mean, there's a YouTuber I like watching called Crit Crab where he reads D&D horror stories. I like listening to him, and I've listened to a couple of his stories on repeat because it's like I want to be a better DM and not do crap like this. But there's actually several of his stories I had to be like, please don't show me this again because of just how disgusting the male gatekeeping and sexism and trying to sexually assault female female players' characters because they're girls. I'm like, okay, I've taken the lesson from this. Never let me hear this again. This is just too awful. It also doesn't help that a lot of really trashy media made for young boys in the 2000s and even to this day don't do a good job of portraying how women actually behave in a normal, rational environment, you know? If that makes any sense.
Come on, you're almost dead. Just die.
Let's see. Jesus, the stories I
Finally.
could tell you about horrible tabletop gatekeepers and absolute gross behavior. Actually, if you want to, Valentine, you can, message me some of these stories because I like to hear these as a way of personal growth and how to, have better tabletop etiquette, especially towards just people in general. I would be all too happy to hear these stories. Because I admit, when I was in high school, I wasn't trying to be a gatekeeper, but I was being a socially awkward boy where I would casually hit on the girls who were in our sword fighting club. And one of the guys had to call the group out. And the sad part is like, oh, sorry about that. I didn't mean anything by it. And he's like, I'm not talking about you. I'm like, wait, you're not?
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh, geez, what's this poor woman been being subjected to if just what behavior I'm not happy that I displayed is still considered better.
It's you. Yes.
I mean, then again, I'd like to think that I did a halfway decent job since the girl I went out with a few times in high school, I got to know through this club. So I'm like, I apparently wasn't a complete and utter mouth-breathing, gatekeeper. So I'll always hold that to my younger, douchier self. Wasn't a... I mean, heck, technically speaking, the first time we ever met, Honey, was in that club,
Yep.
but I didn't remember that was you, so I still personally count the first time we met as, when you came over and we played Descent
Yeah.
together.
What the fuck? Hello?
So even then, looking back, I really don't remember that one time you came to the sword fighting club. Let's see, the biggest issue I had, and still have with anyone I play with, is when players or DMs are criticized about something in their game that they say it's my fantasy. Like, not understanding that is the problem.
Oh, yeah, like being really creepy and being like, what?
It's this...
Yeah. Ugh.
Or it's like, I'm just playing my character excuse. I hate that so much.
Yep.
So I'm like, okay, if you have to defend your character's actions by saying it's your character, then the problem is with your it's how you chose to write your character. And again, just trying to say that's what your character would do is not an excuse.
If anything, it kind of makes you creepy and gross.
Yeah, if anything, it's more just...
Like, I would understand, like, when I had the Kadia moment of, like, oh no, I'm gonna blow up at this person for traumas of childhood. It's like, that's kind of different.
It's like, I didn't personally feel... I mean, it didn't really... You weren't using it as a way to attack other players or creep on other players or screw over other players.
It was just...
I mean, okay, you arguably screwed us over out of a guild hall, but I would argue that ended up working in our favor because we then...
got to make our own.
Yeah.
Where is the thing?
Again, honestly, I think Jessie rolled with that quite well.
She did. She did really good with that.
Again, looking back, I think my biggest problem with Shamu was just... And again, most of the issues I'd point at aren't ever going to get uploaded, but I was playing a center of attention character, and I'm like, I feel I might have hogged the spotlight a little too much. I don't think I ever truly went full douchebag, shut the fuck up asshole and let someone else have a turn, but I still could have dialed it back a tiny bit, in my opinion. Anyway, I never stop players from being that character. They complain to me. Hold on, let's see. They complained at me when their character gets massive. Oh, they're upset that it's like, this is a fantasy game, which means I should be able to do whatever I want without repercussions. That type of complaint. I hate that.
The stupidest thing.
I had a player who, helped me test this last campaign that I was working on for the channel, who didn't seem to understand why everyone was upset with him, or really wanted to... he metagamed the hell out of the final few sessions to not get himself killed, which kind of annoys me a lot. It's like, well, that's just what he would do. I'm like, yes, that's what your character would do. Now, you also got to realize why everyone else's characters are going to want to kick your ass, or whatever.
Oh, we talking about the one that killed, Wake?
No, not that
Oh.
one. Again, task campaign that I just
sorry,
finished.
the task campaign. Oh, no,
Yeah.
we can't... Oh, no, you can play Zelda. Oh,
Yeah, I'll
just
set the
bring-
Switch to her.
I'll just bring along you.
Yeah, it's, what's the word I'm looking for? And this same player, he always described, he treats D&D like he's playing an RPG, or games like Skyrim. I'm like, hey, that does not work for tabletops. Because games like Skyrim, you're like the sole hero, saving everything, doing everything, etc. But tabletop game, you're not going to be able to do everything. It's a cooperative experience, and as a result, I mean, it's just as much the DM's game too. So if you do something that, you're gonna have consequences.
Yeah, it's how I'm feeling about the role-playing server I'm story team on. Is we had an admin who decided it's okay if I break the rules because so-and-so's not online. And it's like, Bitka, this isn't Skyrim. You need to accept the and like when she received the consequences, all she did was complain, and it's like, Bitka, I swear.
Okay. I got to learn how to be a good DM because I had god-awful DMs to work with who never let me play the character I wanted, and they felt it clashed with their ideas of the class or the race.
Weird.
Okay, so I'm just going to throw this out. That's on the DM for not sitting down with the group beforehand and explaining this is the type of campaign that... Oh, I can't switch to Zelda at the moment.
Oh, stupid.
That's annoying.
Oh.
Who didn't make it clear, I'm like, this is the type of story that we're doing. Because, like, just as an example, the D&D campaign I'm planning on running for the channel, I'm going to explain to the party, or the group, that I'm like, this is going to be a predominantly lawful campaign.
I'm gonna go grab chess.
Yeah,
so
go
hold
ahead.
on.
This is going to be a predominantly lawful campaign, or at least I'd prefer if you played, good or lawful characters because of the setting you guys are in. But at the same time, I'm like saying that, oh, this doesn't fit the race or the character. That is dumb on so many levels. Because let's face it, let's take my little Shamu. He sure as hell did not act like a druid. I basically made a druid but played a bard. And he was a lot more articulate than what the 3rd edition books described Darfelans as. But again, I'm like, who gives a shit what the book, what the characters are supposed to be in the book or whatever. The point of D&D is to create your own fantasy. Again, as long as what you create doesn't blatantly fly in the face of what the DM established. Because, how do I put this? You never want to, as a player, make something that just builds lore in the DM's world without, A, checking with the DM first, or try to blatantly contradict something the DM established. But, because, like, for example, let's take Shamu again. I basically built my whole Darfelan culture myself, because I kind of made up my own thing. But I ran everything past Jessie first. So, and she's like, this will not interfere with what I had planned. But, let's see. I wasn't allowed to make a character at all if these DMs didn't find it fitting, basically. That is dumb. Like a cyber samurai who was lazy but had a sweet tooth. I was not allowed to make that in a Rifts game. afraid I don't know what Rifts is off the top of my head, so I don't know how awesome or outlandish that idea is. I mean, it sounds awesome, but I mean, because let's face it, I think most DMs would never have let me create, you know, a humanoid killer whale who used to be an exotic dancer, because it probably wouldn't fit most people's, you know, limited view of what D&D should be. Actually, that is kind of something that I didn't really enjoy. So, we were gonna play a game of Curse of Strahd with a DM, and don't get me wrong, I'm still upset we never got to play that campaign, but this DM...
Avoid fighting the Guardian in this level.
Right. This particular DM was a massive D&D fan. Like, I mean, like...
You mean Critical Role fan?
Well, yeah, but... I mean, they were a huge fan of D&D as a whole.
That's true.
Like, they loved the lore, they loved yada, yada, yada. So everything had to be... obnoxiously line up with the world's lore. Like, just as an example... They would not let us play any race that wasn't human, or at least extremely humanoid, or at least someone that could pass as a human, because it's like, oh, well, this area of the world you're in is very, very racist, and would not, and would treat, you know...
Oh, is Zelda dying?
Yeah, I think she might be stuck. Yeah, etc., etc., etc. You know, it's like, okay, all of my character ideas are like for... I had an idea for a Grung character, for a Warf, and then it's like, oh, well, Warforged aren't part of the Forgotten Realms. They're part of Eberron. Which I'm like, okay, that's, yes, that is true, but I don't know. I'm just the kind of the DM. I'm a DM who's like, if it's in an official D&D book, go ahead and use it. Like, I don't really care if it's meant for a different setting than what we're taking place in. So there's nothing stopping him from being a lazy... So there's nothing... According to my DM, samurai are always vigilant and strict, but the thing is, cyber samurai are considered rogues and are hated by true samurai and hunted down. So there's nothing stopping him from being lazy with sweets. Sweets addiction. The DM could punch me over could push me over and handicap me with...
Oh, Link died.
I wanted that.
Link died.
Oh, Link died?
Yeah.
That sucks. Whoops-a-doodle. Okay, I don't think there's any way for us to heal Link. And, wait, hold on. Can I command Link? I don't think I can. I can't. Because he's not running away. I don't think there's any way for us to win at this point, because Link is not running away.
Oh, the Guardian's almost dead, though.
Yeah. Nope. I think we're gonna have to leave.
Yeah.
And then come back with one of us as Link to keep him from mashing his face against this robot.
Yeah.
Because, like, again, I do feel it does make sense for... Okay, we're not gonna leave and have one of us play Link.
Oh. Sorry, I thought we just meant...
No, I meant, like, since Link, as his AI is having him just run at the Guardian, I think one of us needs to physically play as Link to keep him from doing that. Again, thanks to listening to Crit Crab and understanding the beauty of a Session 0, I'm like, ooh, that would have saved me a lot of heartache. Because my absolute worst moment as a DM, in my humble opinion, definitely would have been avoided if I had done a Session 0 with my players. I'll do Link.
Now see what a Rito warrior can do.
Oh, you want to play with the claw, the flail, or something else?
I'll play with the Master Sword. Yeah. But even then, I kind of feel it's like, yes, a DM can state, it's like, this is what I have going for, and these are the characters that I feel would work best. But I'm like, the DM does still need to be able to make some accommodations, you know?
Zelda.
It's kind of like when we watched Dorcas Rising.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, if the world is human only,
That's on
fine, but you know, you should let any class exist or something.
Yeah.
Or again, session zeros are really laying out that stuff for players because then they can go, no, that's not a campaign I'm interested in, and then they can go, okay.
I mean, because, yeah, since in Darkness Rising, they've already played the game a couple times, so quite frankly, the player was being an asshole for insisting on being an elf.
Yeah.
But I also feel that, again, given, you know, the troubles they've been having, it's like, just let him be a monk, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's not going to ruin the world that the game takes place in.
I'm still gonna go gather Jess.
Yeah.
Now we just have to worry about Impa being stupid, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, she did a decent job of staying away from the Guardian that last fight, so I think we should be fine. Because, yeah, just, again, as an example, using the campaign I'm going to do for the channel at some point, it's like I'm going to tell the players, everyone involved, you know, in our session 0, that I'm like, okay, this is a campaign that just running in and killing everyone and everything is going to get you killed. So it's like, you don't need to be good characters, but be characters who are willing to talk before shooting. That's all I ask. Well, there's a few other things I ask, but you get the idea. Then again, since this is going to be for a D&D something that we're going to be streaming on the internet, I also feel it's like I feel a little more justified being a tad bit railroady with the story because we're trying to share a shared narrative with an audience. If this was just a hey, let's play D&D for fun, then I'd be like, okay, I should be a little more flexible with that. I mean, because that's kind of why, like, the campaign I've been running for Jesse and Abby right now, kind of the whole idea was I'm like, okay, this is going to be a campaign that's all about just hit me with whatever you got, and I will work with it. Let's see. I really want to be able to play tabletops with you guys sometimes. It sounds amazing. Well, I wouldn't go that far, because I'm not the greatest DM in the world, but I'm working at it.
And I've only DM'd once.
And it was Pokemon D&D.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you did kind of DM a couple Pokemon D&D sessions, but only one really went that far.
Yeah.
It was good, though. It was very good.
Go fight the Guardian.
I'm more fighting it so Zelda can run past. And Impa. Okay, once Impa okay, he's following me. Or he's following them. Keep running, Impa. Keep running, Zelda.
Zelda's running. She's way ahead.
That's right. I guess since she's on the motorcycle, she's going a lot faster.
I love how she's just running in circles now.
Rolling around at the speed of help.
Help. Yes, I know. Open this door. Thank you. Places to go, gotta save my own asshole. Hello, you have a chest. I want it.
I got really nothing to go with that. That was just funny.
Okay.
I can DM. I've run riffs. I've done a huge number of fudge games. I don't mind making something or good off the cuff. Yeah, this is probably just my own limited mind, but yeah, for me, I'm comfortable DMing D&D because that's what I know. Abby, you've done, I've kind of done some Pokemon D&D DMing, but I don't think I did a very good job with that. But again, that was still when I was kind of figuring out. It doesn't help that I really did not learn from a very good DM, or DMs in general, because one DM, you know, he only used modules, which isn't a... That's not the problem here. The problem is he just used modules as an excuse to be lazy.
And then we
Like,
never finished them.
Never finished them. Another DM just never did any preparation. He just made shit up as we went along. Which, don't get me wrong, to an extent, that was actually kind of fun. Because, I mean, we fought Doctor Who monsters a couple times. We just... But there was no story, no character. It was just, hey, let's just be overpowered because I don't want to actually, you know, put any work in today. Then the other DM was very... He wasn't railroady, but... pretentious, I guess, would be the word. Pretentious, and he was a mix of over-prepared and under-prepared. I think that's really the best I can describe this guy's DMing style. Oh yeah, you also DM'd Lasers and Feelings.
Oh yeah, you guys like that? Okay, I think.
Yeah, I want to do a Lasers and Feelings for the channel at some point, but
I was playing the
Tactical Waifu.
Tactical Waifu.
And I really want to do that one. That just sounds amazingly stupid.
I should go get chest number 5. I'll take this base.
Okay, can I not actually capture what's up here? I mean, there was a meter and everything, but it's not growing or shrinking anymore.
Are you at the dotted location?
Yeah.
You have to get something activated. Oh, there's stuff up there.
Yeah, I just can't figure out how to get up there.
There should be some stairs.
I've been running around this thing for a bit. It's like, yes, I know there should be some stairs, but I'm not finding the stairs. There we go. I've never run D&D. I don't like playing it. Hate not rolling to dodge or parry, but the enemy can attack me with a roll. To each their own, I suppose.
I can understand it. Yeah, I think, like, what was the other system we tried to play?
I don't remember.
It was the one with Jessie that we were going to play with her nephew.
Yeah, that system did not work at all. Well, okay, not that it didn't work at all, it was too vague.
Yeah. Here's this chest. Oh my gosh. Come here.
I remember a friend of mine knew I was into tabletop games and was like, here's a tabletop game that's about zombie apocalypses, because they were into zombie apocalypses. I'm like, I appreciate the gesture, but I don't like the genre, and this isn't a very good system.
Oh, you can play Zelda now.
About time.
Go nuts. Still can't fight the thing, but, you know.
Let's see, where do I need to go?
The dots, but kill enemies. I'm just gathering the chests.
Yeah. I'm just gonna head to where I need to go while killing enemies. And then again, most of my D&D campaigns are story and character driven. Heck, I remember, like, the problem player I was talking about earlier was like, okay, this is weird. We've gone 2 whole sessions without combat. I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure I told you, you know, at the outset of this that I do very little combat in my games because I find combat over and over just to be kind of boring, you know? It's like, what makes table TTRPGs interesting is character interactions. Heroes Unlimited is a superheroes and is gloriously dumb. That sounds awesome. I almost did a GURPS campaign once, but like every tabletop campaign I almost did with this group of friends, we did a lot of planning, a lot of prep work, and then never actually played. All I remember is the character I made in GURPS was basically the Human Torch. That is the extent of what I remember, because like I said, I never actually played it. We just planned it.
Yeah, that's how a lot of my D&D campaigns in high school were, was just plans, and that was it. I usually made pixies.
Oh, so...
Hey!
Edgy pixies. Now that I
Hey,
think about
I.
it.
So is that supposed to... I'm the exact same Luke. I don't do combat much either. It's more about the character and the stories. It's like, honestly, for me, I run combat as boss encounters. As just kind of the, you know, the video game style, anime, big ultimate showdown at the end. But I'm like, there's going to be very little fighting getting there. Like, honestly, I think it's like the second part of the campaign I'm working on for the channel. The fact that I actually have like an enemy spawn chart, like this is very unusual for me, but fits very much for this particular setting. I don't want to spoil it since Abby's here, and I don't want to spoil it for the channel either. But I'm like, yeah, this is one of the few times that I did an actual combat spawn encounter. That being said, I use that more as a way to be like, these are the monsters that show up. However, you can very creatively get around them. Heck, the campaign that I've been running for Abby and Jesse right now, they run into monsters all the time, but I purposely picked them to be slow monsters so that unless they, you know, accidentally walked into them because they got a low roll, they haven't actually had to fight almost any of them. Especially since Jesse's playing a centaur. So running away from these slow mushroom men is a very real possibility. Let's see. I've run GURPS too. It's so fun. The most popular tabletop for me is I have a Monster Prom / Monster Cap game because slice of life and stupid of life stupid combined with monsters and mayhem makes for great entertainment. You know, that'd be kind of fun if we played that tactical waifu game you had in mind. If we also threw in a random, you're also this generator, if you know what I mean. So in addition to being like, hey, you're the tsundere, you're the yandere, or whatever, it's like, you're now also an elder god, or you're now also a mermaid, or something goofy like that.
Okay.
I'm not saying you actually have to do that, but that just kind of got me
Did you activate the
thinking.
thing up there?
I think so.
No.
No, I didn't.
I'll get it.
Sorry, I didn't see a quest marker up there, so I just.
We don't have Link being stupid, so we don't have to stress.
So I wouldn't mind doing another superhero-based TTRPG. It's just I know those can also be problematic because again, another horrible crit crab story that just made me cringe was when someone shared a story about how they were trying to do a superhero campaign, and basically the DM just wanted to do a Teen Titans fanfic and make the players just sit and watch. Because like they beat the big bad in their first encounter, and he's like, no, now you just lose. Well, why? Because he's the big bad. You're not. It's a superhero story. You're not supposed to beat him yet. Like then you shouldn't have had him show up in the first encounter. Again, I think it was Jesse once said, gave me this advice. It's like, if you're going to have your villain show up in the first encounter, you need to be prepared for them, the characters, to defeat the main villain. Because that's just how tabletop's supposed to work. It's like you got to roll, much in the same way the players got to roll with what you put in front of them, you got to roll with what they give back to you. And I mean,
Come on, stupid.
yes. There is such a thing as horrible players who purposefully try to derail games just because they think it's funny. But I'm like, that's not the same thing as just... what's an example? Again, Jessie, she was running a tabletop game for me and Abby. She had this whole idea planned where we were going to go to like this forgotten city in a desert. But... the person who was supposed to take us there was a slave trader. My character is super anti-slave, so he ended up just killing the person who was supposed to guide us there. So but Jesse was like, okay, I had this great plan, but it doesn't work for this character. Okay, let's go on to something else. And Jesse did a very good job at rolling with those punches. I just wish people's lives would free up and COVID would finally go away, so people would be free / comfortable to bugger
Really close.
to meet up in person again, so we could
Yeah.
resume our tabletop shenanigans. Well, just resume. I mean, don't get me wrong. I deeply enjoy the streaming, but there's also plenty of activities we wanted to do that are not related to streaming that I would love to do as well.
I also just miss everybody.
Yeah, I really miss the rest of the channel. Because I would love to do a traditional Spore video and horrify the channel again, because, man, our Spore Hero videos are super popular. And I also, thanks to, a video that Abby was watching, rediscovered Amazing Island, which also has plenty of, H.R. Giger monstrosities to freak the channel out with as well. Not to the same extent as Spore, mind you, because the mechanics are a little simpler, but there's still some potential to be had.
Oh, I have to be Zelda with that? Okay.
Yep. Uh-huh.
I'm ready to stuff my beak.
Oh, what character did I get to pick my character?
It was a lower one.
Oh,
It was
okay.
either that or the Great Fairy, so I assumed you'd want to be Bird.
Yes, you are correct. I've been I didn't kickstart this because it's like, okay, they're using blatantly copyrighted images, so I had a feeling this was a scam. But there was a tabletop that was kickstarted for Transformers, or a Transformers-like game. I'm like, I would definitely love to run a Transformers TTRPG. Then again, I spent weeks looking for a kaiju TTRPG. I couldn't find one. I mean, I found a couple that it's like, try this system and modify it, but I'm like, I'm not smart enough to
You know
modify
what I
a
need to
system.
look into?
What?
I need to see if that Kaiju Girl and manga is updated.
Kill Enemies, honey.
Oh, sorry, I'm being dumb.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Kaiju Girl is such a good manga.
I wish I remembered the full name. I'd have to run upstairs and grab it. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yep. Easily one of the cutest. Oh, wait, this is just to defeat enemies.
Yeah,
Okay. So I should be killing enemies too.
even if you want.
Plus, the other thing I like about it is the love interest is stupid, but not frustratingly stupid. Stupid enough to not, let the, horrible secrets of the main character ruin their relationship due to misunderstandings, but not so stupid that he's missing, romance cues, That's always frustrating. Because yes, I do know men in real life are frustratingly ignorant to romance cues. Then again, in our relationship, you were the one who was somewhat,
Oh yeah, I was oblivious as fuck.
although to be fair, I probably shouldn't have flirted with you until we actually started dating, because, well, my defense is we're not that different. I think there's only like 2-3
We're
years.
2.
We're only 2 years age difference. It's just, you were still a minor, and I was,
Entering college.
yeah. Again, to my defense, I did not ask you out until well after you had graduated, you were above age, etc. Or you were,
I know what you mean.
yeah. If anything, I think you did a good job of just being good friends. Just,
Don't kill all the enemies. I need to still kill some for motorcycle's sake.
I know. Just we've only got 2 minutes to kill 100 enemies and we're only at 50. Which I don't get, because it clearly shows that I'm at 180.
It keeps resetting.
remember I definitely was not prepared for our relationship since you were the first girlfriend I had.
Mm-hmm.
But so it's like, I don't know what we're supposed to do, and you're like, oh, boyfriend, let's cuddle. Like, what? Is this okay?
You were such an innocent baby.
You're not wrong. Why do people need to understand romantic cues or flirt in the first place? People should
No,
just
you
openly say they want to date you, or say their feelings outright.
I mean, we kind of do, but there's some things that it's like,
I do-
for awkward example, Luke unintentionally gave me a cue to make out that he didn't know was a cue.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I just thought, oh, that's what he wants. And then, because we were just like kissing, and so I just started making out, and he was like, ah!
But I just went with it, because...
And then afterwards, you were like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I think another problem is that I knew a girl in high school. Actually, I knew her since grade school, but this happened in high school, where she had a whole bunch of nice guys who were just coming out and confessing their feelings to her. And she was like, can we take it? And it just was really creepy to her because it felt like they were going from 1 to 100 because she wasn't comfortable with the idea yet. So I think there is a balance that needs to be struck there, and just most people don't know how to do that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at least in high school. I think as you get older, I think it's less of an issue, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
In fact, especially when you get older, it can be like, can you just come out and say it, damn it?
Yeah.
Again, since we got married when you were in college and I had just graduated, and I didn't really have much of a social life when I was in college, I don't have a ton of experience with, you know,
Right.
picking up women and such. Heck, even in high school, I was never really that. I never really dated. For my first date that I ever went on was my senior prom.
Right.
Yeah. Just because that wasn't something I was necessarily interested in. I mean, that and being raised in a religiously conservative part of the world, you know?
Yeah.
They kind of put a bit of an emphasis on not seriously dating until you're older.
Yeah.
And since I didn't have friends who wanted to go on group dates, didn't really have a lot of options there.
Yeah.
Like I said, it wasn't even really something I was all that interested in, but
I'm gonna gather Jess. So
sounds
just
good.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have had you play Zelda.
Oh,
That was dumb.
didn't we get all...
I
thought
think we
only-
did, but I forgot to go check it off.
Yeah, because we only needed another 50,
And we
and
got
you
it.
killed over 100 for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. I literally can't read cues, body language, or situations due to my ADHD, so I
Fair
will
enough.
never be able to read someone's romantic interest.
Oof.
Yeah.
You'll find someone that won't be an issue. There will be someone else who also can't read those body cues, and you'll both just be able to verbally do it.
It's like
I'm a
pretty
very much a body language person.
It's
Even
like, I'm pretty sure I've got something, whether it's being mildly autistic or some other mental hang up. So it's like, yeah, I had to have my brother spell out. I'm like, oh, this annoying person, yada yada yada, and he'd be like, Luke, buddy, those girls were flirting with you. It's like, oh, I just found them to be annoying. I just wanted to be left alone. It's like I was having a rough day and I just wanted to go back to my dorm room and, you know, watch dated sitcoms that I had on my hard drive. And again, I just hate it when people ask about me personally, so I never responded well to any advances when it's like the girl's like, we're just trying to get to know you friendly, like. I'm like, I get it, you're just trying to be friendly, but please don't. I don't like it when people ask about me. Honestly, if you can't openly tell me you want to go out with me, I would never want to date you in the first place. Danger can attest to how dense I am about a lot of this.
Oh, like with that kind of a thing, though, I'd be like, yeah, no, you better tell them. But what the hell, Bunny? Bunny. Did I kill the bunny? Bunny. What was that?
And
It was
like,
one of those rare bunnies. That was weird.
because like, what was it? I think it was in the first season of The Big Bang Theory. What's his name? Leonard, you know, tried asking Penny out, but he was so nervous, and she thought she was going out to dinner to hang out with the whole group. And he still went out with her, just never told her that's what was going on.
That's stupid.
I'm like, no, that sort of things. I mean, I'm sure that's not at all what you're talking about, but I'm like, but I'm still gonna bring it up because people do. I'm sure plenty of people do crap like that. Actually, our first date was the most pathetic thing I've ever done.
It was cute, in my opinion.
I know.
And I mean, this sounds really bizarre now that, I mean, like, it's not as bizarre now seeing my abilities with fucking tarot.
Uh-huh.
But I knew it was a date from the beginning.
Yeah,
'Cause I dreamed about it. Where's this goddamn chest? Is this the
But
way?
yeah, so what happened is that, so I graduated, so we both attended the same college, but not at the same time. We both found out, like, so I met her right after I graduated high school, and then we just kind of stayed friends. Then my last year of college, she came up with her high school to kind of check out the college, let the students, prospective students see what school life was like. And yeah, that's when I found out that, she was going to be attending the same college. So
We re-bonded over that. Don't worry, Abby, I will find someone I certainly feel like I'm attractive and lovely
Good.
as I am. and it was thanks to having girlfriends, or having 2 girlfriends earlier this year, and
both relationship tanking.
Oof.
I'm very sorry that it tanked, but
I'm glad you have your self-value.
Yes,
Hell
exactly.
yes. Own that.
Own that.
Move, Yuga Clan. I just want treasure. Fuck off. I'm a material... Actually, pop out. Bitch. There we go. I wanted the time to be better, but I couldn't do it. Oh, man, the level's quiet.
Yep.
Is everything...
As opposed to us.
Oh, hi.
Yep. But anyway.
Run from the cactus turnip thing.
But yeah, so Abby got cast in To Kill a Mockingbird as the racist old lady. I don't remember her name.
It was very awkward, but also strangely kind of fun to yell the N-word at children. I should not have taken as much pleasure as I did.
You probably shouldn't have admitted to that either, but at the same time, it's like, it's probably the only time you're ever going to be able to say that word. And, well, quite frankly, you should
I
never...
need you.
Quite frankly, you never should say the word otherwise.
No. But it was important for the piece. Go in there's a chest or something.
Yeah. Found it.
Cool, thank you.
But anyway, so she invited me to come down and see the show. So I asked her if she wanted to go get dinner before the show. Because there was a really great, like, locally owned restaurant in the town over from where we went to college that, ooh, I still think to this day has the best hamburger I've ever eaten. So, let's see. It was the first... It's fine. One girl was 19. That was never going to work. She had a different idea of romance than me, and the other... I'm just glad I recognize Crazy easily from past girlfriends.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, Abby was the only girlfriend I ever had, so... Well, she
you
did
were
turn...
my third boyfriend.
It's like, yeah, so... Yeah, you turned out to be crazy, but thankfully that ended up being my cup of tea.
Fair.
I mean, I kind of realized, I'm like, I needed to find... I don't think anyone who wasn't crazy was ever going to marry me. I mean, because I can't remember anything I learned in school, but I could recite the entire script of Beast Wars Code of Hero by heart. I could even give the proper, descriptive settings, or the, what's the word I'm looking for? Establishing, like, the things you'd write in a script to establish a scene.
Establishing shots?
Yeah, I could even describe those in detail if I had the time. But... yeah, so my priorities are a little jacked when it... Well, no, my brain is a little jacked when it comes to choosing what to remember.
I'll go.
Now I'm
go.
Now I'm up to have... Now I am up to have 15 different boyfriends and girlfriends across my life.
Hey, it's
Hey, do what you need to do. I mean,
anything.
it's like...
I hope you have fun with each relationship.
Uh-huh. I mean, because
Not you.
honestly, marriage is not the end-all be-all that, you know, our society has tried to perpetuate for the last however many.
Millennia? I don't
Yeah.
know.
So, quite frankly, you do what makes you happy
do
to be
you, boo.
you.
By the way, you're heading for a dead end, just to let you know, but I will go get the thing.
Okay.
And then maybe.
I mean, and quite frankly, I'd argue the only reason why Abby is, I would consider Abby to be my only girlfriend, is because the girl I was really into in high school that I would have called my girlfriend didn't view me as her boyfriend. And it's like, okay, you know what? If she doesn't see me that way, then as far as I'm concerned, we were not in a serious relationship. Plus, again, I was in high school. I kind of thought that, oh, this is the first time I've ever felt these feelings. You must be the one, even though high school. What's up?
I was freezing. Oh, the lag. Oh god, there we go. Okay. I thought I was frozen.
Let's see. I'm polyamorous, and I am happy. A lot of these relationships were really, really early in my life when I was desperate to please people, so I said yes to everyone who asked me out. Oh, no. I know the desire to please people. Thankfully, I've never been in a romantic situation where I was desperate to please people, but just in life in general, so I can imagine how rough that'd be in a romantic setting.
What did I just kill? I don't know what I killed. Oh, a fire boy. Okay. I did it. There's one chest and I can't get to it because they're blocking the way. Murder everything for me. Because I'm mad.
Yes, I know you're mad, honey bunny. Okay, what's the new objective?
Beat the 2 blue moblins.
Okay, I can do that.
Finished already.
Yeah, speaking of, you know, doing things that make you happy, it's like, I think Abby's finally, I mean, okay, we've kind of always collected, you know, miniatures and figurines and whatnot, but Abby's officially started to descend with me into the toy collecting craze that I've gotten into these past
Mine's more
year.
figure collecting crazy.
Yeah, but more just you've really jumped on board with me.
Yeah.
Especially since you've discovered the sites I've been ordering my stuff from.
Yee.
You're like, oh, stuff.
Ooh, pretty things. I like pretty things.
Although much to Abby's frustration, the one website that has stuff that she wants won't make her make a wish list. Which I just don't get why that's not a thing on some of these sites.
That zoom of mine is dangerous. Puncher. Urbosa, you're useless.
Don't you dare call my muscle lady useless, honey. She'll never.
She's useless right now.
She'll never be You'll never be useless to June. Oh, I miss playing Azure Twilight's games.
Yeah.
I especially miss
We
Doppelganger.
need to get back to the Fantasia. We need to go through with the Fantasia playthrough we wanted.
Yeah, now that I'm not being a complete butthole about playing those games. Yeah, I admit, I was a bit of a butt about playing those games at first, but that was before I'm like, just shut up and have fun, you pansy.
Yeah, growing up to do.
Yeah, well, it didn't help that that was kind of before our channel really found its identity. Because we were still couples therapy the entire time we were playing Azure Twilight's games.
Yeah.
So it was supposed to be, oh, we'll play some of these games just as a fun little side project, but the dating sims took over the channel, which I was a little annoyed about because it's like I thought this was supposed to be we show each other games we both like. So at the time, I felt like we were ignoring that part of the channel.
Right.
But then I realized I'm like, it's more fun if we just play games that make us, go insane. So who cares? Plus, especially after the Digimon playthrough, good God, I started realizing some of the games I like don't really work for our channel's format. I mean, that's why I've been streaming Mass Effect. 'Cause I'm like, I would never want to do this in a more traditional video sense. Because just making Flays edit that is no bueno. That is not good. I would not want to do that at all. But
So you go get the yellow marker to hopefully open this door.
yeah.
Because it'll take me too long to get down there.
Yeah. But again, that's also why I'm glad we have started streaming, because it has opened the door for me to, share some of these games with the channel that just wouldn't have made for a good playthrough in general. Or because what's his name, Paperclip. Even though I've only done it twice and I don't know if I'm going back to it anytime soon, I gotta show some love to one of his favorite games. Actually, his favorite game, Infinite Undiscovery. But again, after playing it for 10 minutes, I'm like, this would not have worked in our usual format. I mean, we could have done a What the Fa. Although I do want to get back to some What the Fuzz. That's another thing that was fun. Because there are a number of games that's like, I could just stream them for the channel, but I don't know if I'd actually want to do that. It's like, a great... Oh, Endangered's here!
Danger!
Endangered's here! Sorry, Endangered, when exactly did you join in so I can, catch you up? Because I don't know 100% what you popped into.
Ah, no, boop it. Not boop it that way. Boop it this way, lady. Good God. Lady? Lady, open the chest. Thank you. Gee Louise.
Let's see. I can see that just seen about 3 of your messages. Yeah, we were. So yeah, just we were chatting with Valentine about relationship drama, the usual stuff that we talk about here. Let's see. You and Abby were talking about something. Yeah, we were just kind of talking about about how I'm grateful for the streaming, that we started streaming because it was a way to explore some games that just wouldn't have worked in our, having Flays edit our videos format because there'd just been too much for that poor woman to have to edit out. But also talking about how I miss our old format because there are just some games that just, I want to save these until we can play together because of Flays' amazing editing would make them all, you get, yeah, just that sort of thing.
Hello.
Because, some games like Spore and Amazing Island, I'm like, okay, these are ones I want to play once the channel's all back together.
I might kill it before you get here, I'm not sure.
Oh, that's fine. Especially since it's like, oh man, I miss some of Flays' edits.
Yep, I killed it with kisses.
I think one of my favorite Flays edits is, the stuff that I had her do with Waka and Okami.
Oh, jeez.
Then,
I think my favorite might have been the red, white little...
Yeah, I was about to say that. Here I go. Whee! That's such a great edit. Hanging around you and Guy Stream makes me feel like I'm with friends.
Aw.
Oh, that's great to hear.
What are we doing? I'm playing League now, okay. May all you die.
May all your bacon burn. I think I killed him.
Cool. There's another one over here, I guess.
Okay, we'll kill him too.
May he die.
Hey, guess what? This isn't Power Rangers. Those spandex will not protect you. I still need to actually follow through with the, hey, let's play Jackbox on the Discord. I mean, granted, I realize a reason why I haven't done that is I realized, oh, I don't actually own Jackbox on the computer. All the Jackbox we own are on our Switch, and I don't know how to screen share the Switch on the computer. I know there's a way to do it. I probably could just Google it, but...
That would take Googling.
That's why I enjoy those streams, too, just chilling with friends. You're, super friendly and involved with chat, even if it's typically just 3 people. I mean, honestly, I love when there's just a few people in chat, because I can actually have conversations. I'm not missing anyone's posts. And quite frankly, I always work better when there's people here, because watch my streams when it's just me. I get dead quiet for long stretches. Yes, Jackbox would be fun. Yes, again, agreed. I need to get the Jackbox games on our PC and find time that works for people.
Which is hard with all of us being in different time zones.
Yeah, that's the clincher.
Okay, I gotta check off a bunch of quests here.
And again, I wouldn't mind just doing some more Jackbox for the channel as well.
Come here.
I think we only did that once for an April Fool's joke.
Yes.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, that was a fun episode.
Yay, a bonus combo for the cycle.
Archives. I can't either, to be honest. It's just, you know, streams have a different format, and the fun comes from interacting. It's like, I've tried to go back and watch some of Flaze's old streams when I've missed them, and it's just, my brain's like, they're asking questions, I want to answer, but because it's not happening in real time, I can't impart my insanity upon her stream, so it's, yeah.
Ooh, another motorcycle. Give it to me.
Feels like I'm missing something on the archives. I agree.
Oh, you're just
Doesn't-
telling me. Okay, I was like, I'm not deleting anything. No, fuck that. Mythology and relic things.
He's fine.
What
It's fine. God knows, Pocahontas, I'm coming out of the tree.
Grandma, no.
Yeah, I shall marry
no.
Cocoa instead.
Grandma,
You're
Grandma,
free.
no.
It's fine.
get back in the
It's
tree. Grandma,
fine.
Grandma.
I only watch stream archives of people I will never chat with. Tis fair.
Hello. Oh, jeez.
Why, hello there. I hope you don't mind if we have invaded your map.
Yeesh.
Fish?
Yeesh.
Oh no, we ate all the fish yesterday.
Oh, it is a trout. Hey.
It's a sizzling trout.
Oh. Thing. Yes. I don't know what this did for me. Yes.
Oh yeah,
More.
it was kind of funny. So Abby's first time fishing ever, she actually managed to catch a bunch of catch a type of trout that I had never seen before, since it apparently had just recently been introduced
To where I go fishing. Like Senpai. Or I also noticed streams of games I've played a bunch. Hard for me to sit still and just watch because I want to do more.
You want to fix
because
it,
I know
yeah.
exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There have been a few of either games I own or want to own, and I just can't watch playthroughs because I'm like, I'll do it better.
So
Except I won't. I love how I think in my brain, I'll do this better.
I mean, well, this wasn't a stream, mind you, but I remember when I watched the Game Grumps play through Sonic and the Black Knight, which, don't get me wrong, is not a good
That
game.
teleports around. How better?
But they kept getting stuck. But they got stuck on the dragon boss fight, which, make no mistake, that boss fight is all kinds of loaded because they don't actually telegraph what you have to do to beat it. But I digress. But they kept complaining. It's like, we just keep dying. I will be Daruk. It's like, we keep dying. This fight's bullshit. I'm like, yes, the fight is bullshit. And I even commented, I'm like, if you play as Knuckles, the fight is 10 times easier because he can fly over the enemy's projectiles. But just the fact that they just kept playing Shadow over and over, I'm like, I want to smack these two.
Oh, well, I shouldn't complain too much. They're way more successful than I'll ever be. That's Sibbles. Even when you know you're really bad at games. I know that. Oh, I suck at games.
It's kind of like that one Vine of ProDZ that's like, you watch a cooking show and you're just like nagging the chefs about how bad their plating is and they shouldn't have cooked something too long as you're eating a fucking pita pocket and you burn it.
Yeah, our why did we do that Mega Man thing? Was that an April Fool's video?
It was an April Fool's.
Yeah, I'm like, that should just kind of go to show that we are not good at video games. And then again, the old Mega Man games are brutally
Hardballs.
unfair. I'm a dip. Out, have fun, y'all.
Right,
See you,
bye.
Valentine. Thank you for joining us. We need to defeat the ice moblins.
Yup, I'm just getting my things.
In Mother Russia, the ice moblins defeat you. Yeah, I've been working on my Russian accent, and that was the worst I've ever done with that.
I'm sorry.
It's alright. I can only play, like, really easy games or games I've played 50 times on hard difficulties. Yeah, honestly, I've beaten Mass Effect a bunch of times. I have yet to try the game on anything above casual. But then again, that's mostly because I don't play Mass Effect because I like the combat. I play it because I like the characters and the story.
I play video games to have fun, not to prove a point.
Exactly. I mean, heck, I have never played a Fire Emblem game above normal difficulty. And heck, even though I stand by that casual mode has kind of stripped away some of the good level designs from the series past, I'm like, if a game has casual difficulty, you bet your ass I'm gonna play that. Because it's kind of nice to not have to worry about resetting your losing all your progress when you're just trying to grind a bloody support conversation. Looking at you, Sacred Stones. I still love you. I can only play Mass Effect 2 on hard. I actually don't do bad at that.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Wee.
That being said, playing through Fire Emblem Fates again with Abby, I'm starting to realize, I'm like, ooh, Fire Emblem Fates level design isn't just bad, it's unfair and unbalanced. Because in the Fire Emblem game, for the first Fire Emblem game that was localized outside of Japan, whew, there is one level that haunts my nightmares to this day. And Fire Emblem Fates copied the level design from that level pretty closely, but they somehow did it worse.
Blows up.
Hands down, I don't think any Fire Emblem game, not even Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn, will ever be as hard as the first Fire Emblem game that came out in America on the Game Boy Advance.
What's up, bitch?
I can't play any Saints Row games except one on the hardest difficulty. Yeah, my time playing multiplayer games online, or like playing Halo online in multiplayer, is just kind of proven to me that I can't do shooters, you know, competitively. I am starting to wonder, I'm like, hey, maybe I should pick up Smite again now that I have a computer that might run it properly. But then I remember just how toxic the fan base could be, and it kind of puts me off it as much as I do like the game.
I am ready.
Where am I? Oh, bomb. Frog!
Excellent.
That was a lot easier than it has been.
Yeah, I think it's because it was just one big choo-choo.
Fair. And we got it before all the other enemies spawned.
Yep. Nice. Did the rain stop?
I think so.
Aw. I mean, okay, with just how much it rained, with how hard it rained, it probably cleaned up quite a bit.
Hopefully.
But even still, it's like how bad the air quality's been, and with all the dang fires on the West Coast, could have used way more than that. Okay, I'm gonna get something to drink,
Wow.
and I'm gonna look outside.
I am.
Yep, the rain snow.
Thanks.
Apu.
Yes, quite.
Fortunately, it didn't really cool anything off, so now it's just muggy outside.
Yay. My favorite.
Cold water, madame?
Thank you.
Hum num num.
Wow, that is cold. Holy shit.
I mean, I did just pull it out of the fridge.
Almost feels like you threw it in the freezer for like 20 minutes.
Nope.
Ah. 1, 2, 7. Ah. Phone. Phone! Work with me! Ah.
Okay, I'm probably terrible.
Right.
So I was just quickly pulling up one of my the sites I buy my Transformers from to check on a pre-order,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw a robot that's called it's like Getter something,
Uh-huh.
but my brain turned it into Ghetto.
Oh, no.
You have a lot to look forward
Who do you want to be?
I want to be. Let's see, you're being douchebag.
Mm-hmm.
You're being discount Falco.
Yup.
I will be Sidon.
Your prince won't let you
And
down.
we'll just bring other bird.
See what a retail
Oh, the birds.
We'll save everyone most certainly.
Well, bird is the word.
Onward. I'm gonna just gather chests. Just destroy everything. Oh.
What? You said you were gathering chests, so I just
Oh, thank you.
helped you find one.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Why can I not track this?
Because God hates you. I don't know.
Yep, you can't blame your brain out of correct fills for doing bad things. Oh, yep.
Was it? Yeah, it's probably around 4. Huh? La, 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 la. What? What do you want?
I'm making music.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you wanted attention or something.
Honey, I always want attention.
Fair.
Why do you think I helped you make this channel?
Fair. You.
I can breathe again.
I swear to God, it better not teleport me.
Why won't anyone teleport me?
Yes, yes.
I know my brain autofills normal words with curses and innuendos more often than not.
Bless.
Yep.
Shut up, Franklin. I love you, but no. Go away.
Just speaking of innuendos or whatever, so, my college, the theater department, every Halloween they do a superhero dance in the school's black box theater. Well, being a teeny tiny town in the western United States, there weren't exactly great costume shops around, but everybody, especially since this was only a few years after the first Iron Man movie had come out. I think Captain America and Thor were in theaters around that time, so everyone was into superheroes. Anyway, so one of my roommates, he just got a bunch of ties and knots and just kind of wrapped them around himself, and he was the supervillain, the double entendre.
Oh, jeez. Please tell me the chest was here and I didn't. Franklin, shut up. I love you, but shut up. I am busy.
So then a few friends of mine were that were in the theater club with me. They made up their own superhero team, the League of Colors. You know, they basically just each picked a color, then made an outfit themed around said color. I'm like, hey, can I be your guys' arch nemesis and just wear a bunch of black? I mean, since I did a lot of teching in college, hated it, but it was part of my scholarship. I had a lot of black on hand, so I did that. I made myself up, and you know, since I was taking costume makeup at the time, I'd say decently elaborate makeup for the stuff I did back in the day. It was fun.
Oh, my makeup class is gonna hate me.
Why is that?
The latex allergy.
Oh yeah, they are gonna hate you, honey bunny. Thanks for the story. I both love and hate it. The double entendre one. Then another friend of mine, she had like a bright blue one-piece swimsuit. I'm talking like neon glitter blue.
Oh my gosh.
It was nuts. So she just put that on over like some full body tights she had. Got some bright blue lipstick, and then threw a cape on, and then brought just a spray bottle of water and was the H2O-inator.
Oh my gosh.
Let's see, what were some other...
Oh, if you happen to see Keys, kill Keys.
What were some other great closet superheroes that they came up with?
What was the one with your two-tone coat?
Oh, that one. That was, I don't even remember what he was called. But yeah, I made a two-tone jacket. You know, one side hat was black and one was white. And then I made a mask to go with it, but I don't remember what I called it. I don't even think I have a photo of me wearing it. I know all anyone cared about was the fact it's like, why don't you have black and white pants? I'm like, because that's hard to make, and I'm not that good at sewing. At least I wasn't back then. Granted, if I even, given how much weight I've put on in the last 10 years, it wouldn't fit me, even if I had done it.
Oh, stop. Go away.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, that. I hate that one. Yeah.
One more chest to get. And then I will do stuff. What? No, not that one.
Where am I?
I already have that one anyway.
You are the floor.
We are the floor. That was awesome.
Yep.
That one get posted? I forget.
Yes,
Okay.
that was in the Camp Wanna
yeah.
Run Amok. So
I knew
yeah.
it was part of the Camp Wanna Run Amok, but I couldn't remember if that got posted or not. It's so freaking long.
The H2O one, not yours. Context is important.
I don't know, Luke. You could have looked amazing in one of those things.
In what? The
Blue swimsuit? I don't know. You could have. I don't know. I won't know until I see it.
I mean, again, that was someone.
Yeah, I know. Context is important. What? Now what? Ow, stop it.
So yeah, I thought I said a friend of mine did that, not
Might
me.
have been mischarged or something. I don't know. Open the gates. Okay. Objectives we have. Office we go with. Honey. We got objectives.
I know.
Help.
I know. The controller was wigging out.
Oh, okay. That is different and understandable.
You did say a friend. Okay.
Oh, Taylor's already there.
Wait, so if I did say a friend,
No, I
what's
don't
the
know.
what's the context thing about then? I'm confuzzled.
Go to the farthest one away, and then we'll do the other stuff. Hello, bitches.
But yeah, actually, I think a good chunk of my other friends who were in the club, a couple of them just bought like Supergirl t-shirts to wear. One, she did a closet. She made a turtle shell out of cardboard.
Nice.
And then just did a closet Donatello
Oh, that's awesome.
outfit.
Creativity of college people.
Just making sure you understood. My content was ready to... Oh, okay. My comment is pretty vague. Gotcha.
Die, motherfucker.
Don't stand for it. I must not fail. My way.
Excellent.
I know two. They weren't really friends per se. They were like friends of friends. Didn't really have access to anything creative. So one of them went as James Bond, and the other guy went as Blofeld from the Connery films. But didn't really have a. So how he achieved Blofeld is he got one of those giant Beanie Babies, and just brought it and stroked it to be an evil villain.
I love it.
But again, didn't have a cat. Instead, he just had a big cow Beanie Baby. Let's see. Now
Oh, I
I'm
guess I should
remembering my
order-
only
Oops, wrong
homemade
button.
costume.
Stop.
Like what?
I pressed the wrong button.
In grade 7, I went as a bum to a school's Halloween party, just super ratty clothes.
Nice.
Yeah, I in my senior year of high school, we were doing a musical performance review of the composers Arns and Flaherty. Let's see, they wrote Seussical, Ragtime, Lucky Stiff. I think Seussical might be the most famous one they ever did. They're not as well known as like Sondheim or Andrew Lloyd Webber or whatever. Anyway, so I was assigned to do the song "How Lucky You Are" from Seussical, but because it was just a musical review, not necessarily the show itself, we didn't have to keep the context the same as in the show. So we decided to all be homeless bums and sing "How Lucky You Are" from Seussical. And yeah, we all kind of did closet bum outfits. Let's see. A cheap dollar store cowboy hat that we crushed and then tied to make it rehold its shape. Nowadays, if I ask to do homemade costumes, I do Shaggy.
Nah.
Yeah, that would be a good homemade costume for sure.
Oh, saddest thing I learned from work. I'm not allowed to wear the monkey outfit anymore for Halloween.
What?
Because it covers my face.
Oh, that's lame. I mean, I get it, but they should have. There wasn't a problem before.
I think the PTO started throwing a fit.
Of course they did.
Also, with COVID and also more school issues these days, they're probably like, it's probably for the best. So I'm gonna try going to Sailor Moon this year instead, or for Java. One of the two. Whatever I finish by Bonsai.
And Endangered said they already look like Shaggy.
Okay, what am I doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Tell me what we're doing. Keys! They must die.
No mercy, 'cause they all must die.
You give me good stuff?
Oh, I need to try on my kanji costume, make sure it even still fits me.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause, oh, man.
I have completely lost control of my weight these past 3 years.
That's totally weight.
Well, it's not just that. It's also...
And yet you still can hike so much better. You're still more healthy than I am.
yeah, well, again, it helps that I'm on my feet all the time at work. And lifting heavy boxes and whatnot. I mean, I know the thing that caused my weight to go completely out of control was losing my bicycle.
Yeah.
Since I no longer could bike to work, because it wasn't that far and it wasn't that much, but it still helped a lot. That, and we're also eating out a lot more because laziness.
Yeah. Again, I need to get back into the HelloFresh orders.
Yeah.
Which I probably could do.
Why don't we wait until your paychecks from
Might-
school
yeah,
start
from the-
resuming normally?
Yeah, agreed.
So, I mean, that's the reason we had to stop, is because we didn't have reliable enough
Funds. Yeah.
funds over the summer. At the very least, you didn't.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to find which days I'll be home to cook.
Yeah.
Because I think it'll have to be a Tuesday, Thursday, Friday.
I mean, again, it also didn't help that my schedule with my long hours got really weird these past 6
Yeah.
months, so it made it harder to plan at-home healthy eating. But I might need a haircut to do that costume if I had to. My hair's too long for him. Oof. Oh. Yeah. I remember when I shaved my head, I wanted to make a Saitama cosplay. And admittedly, I still kind of do, but I'm glad I didn't at the time because I would not fit into that, into those tights or that bodysuit that he wears. Because again, weight's kind of gotten out of control. Actually, I wonder if my Yeah, it's also kind of funny. I originally was going to go to as Slender Man at my first convention I ever went to, and then we had these Slender Man stabbings. So I thought maybe it would be a good idea to not go as him this year. And then I've put on too much weight to ever pass for Slender Man. Actually, maybe I should check my Pokemon Gold cosplay, see if that even still fits. If that fits, I could totally wear that. Because I know a lot of people like that cosplay.
Oh, he's moving on. Okay.
You see, this is why you're never going to get promoted. As soon as something gets hard, you just move on to the next thing. I certainly look like... Endangered currently looks like Cat Icarus.
Nice.
Again, there are worse people you could look like. Seriously, the last couple of videos Cat Icarus has posted at the time of making this video, it's like, dude, I hope you continue to be successful, because the amount of effort he's putting into these hour-long plus videos, just the amount of money he has to sink into them, I'm like, my respect. I'm going to watch these videos over and over, get him all of the ad revenue.
Won't stand for it.
Otherwise, I could do his beard. I mean, have you seen this beard? I'm a wiser man now.
Nice. Oh,
That's
yeah,
it.
we're done. Finally.
Indeed.
Oh, couldn't do his beard. Gotcha. I am understanding. Actually, I think I know another thing that hasn't helped with my weight is getting our hands on my mom's cookie recipe.
Yeah, that's a good damn recipe, but holy crap, it is fatty.
Yeah, I mean, because we didn't make cookies that much before, because the recipe I was using
It was only okay.
was only okay. But now that I got my mom's recipe,
We're fucked.
yeah, I've been making cookies a lot more. You see that skit that he shaved it off for? I did not. That was sad. I believe it. Boop. Yeah, when I found out that I was several years older than Cat Icarus, that was kind of my, yep, I feel old now. Because there are now celebrities out there that are younger than me. Although, to be fair, that's been true ever since Justin Bieber came along, because I'm older than Justin Bieber. I think by just 1 year, though.
Hello. Give me your gift. Thank you for your
Because I think I remember hearing in high school that he was a year younger than Hannah Montana, or Miley Cyrus, and Miley Cyrus was born the same year I was, so...
ancient cores are taking forever.
Yeah, let's see. He shaved it on and put a C on his chin for a joke. Oh, that one. Yeah, in the crash. Yeah, it's when he talked about Crash Nitro Kart. Since, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, Caddy is 20. Yep, and I'm older than Cat Icarus.
How old is Cat?
27.
Oh, we're the same age. Okay.
Yep. Because I'm turning 30 later this week. It's weird. It's very weird.
Let me see quickly if there's any new ones. Clickety clackety. What's that?
Click, clack, click, clack. Tip, tap, tip, tap.
I might have energy for one more thing.
Oh, and then you need to call it a night?
Yeah, I'm getting tired.
Wow, it's not usual that you're the one who gets
I
tired in
know.
these streams.
Then again, I work today, so.
That's also fair. Then again, as we've seen these last 2 weeks where I haven't, well, last week and a half where I've been able to have, you know, time off from work, I'm still falling asleep all the time.
Yeah.
Although, when we were in Boulder hiking, I think we both had an excuse to be frickin' slugs.
Yeah.
I feel old looking at the TV shows and games I played as a kid, and I'm only 19. Oh, man. I feel old watching Beast Wars, which is still my favorite show of all time. And it's like, I remember when I used to think these graphics were good. But now, I can't recommend this show to anyone who didn't grow up with it because of how dated the show looks. It kind of looks terrible. Which is why I feel kind of bad that I forced Abby to watch it when she didn't grow up with it. But not by too much.
Okay, we have chess and Koroks. Bye. Oh boy. Do my best. No, excuse you. Get back here, bitch. Right, very limited characters.
Yep.
Now see what a Rito warrior can do.
Alright, I'll be,
Or do you want to be Tabba instead?
No, I'll be Surf
Surf Tickety?
Surf Amazon.
Let's team up.
You know, it's weird to think, it's like, I'm older than Google, Pokemon, and YouTube.
I'm gonna run around and pray I can
Find
find
everything.
everything. I'm gonna start with the Korok seeds.
Yeah.
On from there.
All of the countermeasures
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah,
Calamity
yeah, yeah,
Gathering,
yeah,
right?
yeah, 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 yeah,
So,
yeah, 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 yeah,
young
yeah,
knowing-
yeah, yeah. Thank you.
So it was weird. My dad showed me a picture that was taken in front of his family's ranch house when he was a little kid. And I'm like, when did YouTube come out? 2006, I think.
I thought it was 2004.
It might have been 2004. Yeah, I don't remember for sure. It was the mid...
It was early 2000s.
Yeah. Because I just remember, you know, just trying to watch videos before YouTube was a pain in the ass. Because, I mean, there's a reason why during the golden age of Flash animation, everyone had, like, dedicated websites that they used for their own personal uploads. like Legendary Frog,
HomestarRunner.com.
Red versus Blue. Oh man, watching.
I thought they came out after YouTube.
No, they came out well before YouTube. I think they came
Oh.
out in like 2001, 2000.
Whoa, okay.
Like it was kind of annoying trying to watch their videos before that because for a while they were weird about how they archived their footage. Like you could watch the current season for free on their website, but then like every month they made another batch of previous seasons available. Meaning that if you came in, partway through the series like I did, oh yeah, and Newgrounds. Okay, even though I was the right age for Newgrounds, I actually missed the height of Newgrounds. Unfortunately, in fact, honestly, my first exposure to Newgrounds is when I discovered the disgusting world of fan porn games that were posted to Newgrounds.
Sounds right.
So then after I found that, I kind of gave the website a pretty wide berth, which honestly was probably kind of unfair to the website. But, first impressions and all.
It is really hard to read this map.
Although, I do kind of miss some of the days before YouTube. Well, okay, no, I miss the early days of YouTube before YouTube felt like it had a monopoly. Okay, what I'm saying is I miss Blip. I miss Blip a lot. Because, we've got plenty of great content creators out there, but I really miss the golden age of, content creators like Abridgers, the early days of reviewers like Linkara, and, just because they could get away with including a lot more footage from the movies and shows they reviewed without having to worry about as much issues with copyright when Blip was still a thing. I found them the same way. At least I was not the only one. Yeah. Let's see. The website I remember watching most of my Flash videos on was Albino Black Sheep.
I know that one.
What, Albino Black Sheep?
I think so.
Yeah.
Sorry, I am on the search for the thing, and I can't deal with this guardian right now.
Then again, I was that age, whatever worked. Yeah, no, I hear ya. It's like, yeah, I was definitely older than you were, but again, I was definitely raised a lot more sheltered than you were endangered. That's for sure. Which, honestly, I don't necessarily mind my sheltered raising for the most part, but I definitely could have used a reality check in certain aspects a lot sooner than I actually got it. Actually, I remember when I first discovered, second costumes in Tales of Symphonia. It's like, you can put women in bikinis? That's not right! Again, I don't regret my upbringing, but man, it's funny to look back and laugh at young, innocent me. Was given access to the internet from a young age. Yeah, we didn't really have good internet until... really good internet until, 2006.
Only reason my family had good internet was because of my dad's job.
Yeah, we had dial-up internet until 2006. Mostly because since my dad was a prosecuting attorney, he heard all about the horror stories about, young girls getting stalked in online games and online chat rooms and, getting killed, raped, kidnapped, whatever. So my dad was super against having good internet at home for the longest time. The only reason he finally buckled and got better internet was when he got deployed in the military. And since, web calls were becoming more the norm, he got us better internet so we could web call him. Can't say the same, but that's because I was an early 2000s baby. Yeah.
Yeah, my dad had internet because he was the salesman for
Mm-hmm.
the print shop he worked at.
Yeah.
He needed the internet to make online sales.
Yep. I mean, heck, my parents still don't have caller ID on their home phone because I can't say they're completely behind tech-wise, but they're very selective about what tech they view as like necessary for day-to-day functioning. And yeah,
Nice, we
first
killed ours at the exact same time.
first caller ID phone we ever had was our cell phones.
Hey, there's some dock somewhere? After you battle the guardians in the throne room battle, it's to the right of the staircase.
Yeah, my parents still have a home phone. I honestly I don't really use their
there
home
it is.
phone. Like, if I need them, I usually just call their cell phone since I'm a lot more likely to get them, but yeah. My parents do still have a home phone. I just got a treasure chest over here.
Open it up.
Already did.
Oh, sweet.
I just got a Korok seed too,
Sweet.
by the looks of it.
Top level of the library on the left before. I didn't need to let you that
I
off.
mean, another reason why my parents, still had a home phone, and I didn't get a cell phone until late high school because they didn't want to pay for it. They didn't think it was necessary for us to be able to call or text anyone whenever we wanted.
Yeah,
'cause
I
it's
don't
like-
think I got a cell phone till high school.
Yeah.
If not very late junior high.
And I admit, to a certain extent, it is kind of nice when work is not able to reach you. But at the same time, people can't listen by picking up a different receiver on a cell phone. Yep. Actually, I remember in the animated Alvin and the Chipmunks movie, there's an actual plot point about someone else listening into a phone call on a different receiver. I'm like, yeah, kids this generation, if they watch that movie, they're not going to understand what's going on.
Looking for Korok.
Yeah, I always love watching old media and just seeing things that accidentally end up dating the media. I mean, because it's definitely good to try not to date it by making pop culture references, especially when it comes
did
to
it again.
humor. But it's also funny just to see how things are unintentionally dated with technology that they honestly didn't think was ever really going to go out of style because of how ingrained it was in our culture, New generation. No, wait, I'm really not, am I? People can't listen. I'm this generation. Oh, wait, I'm really, I don't know.
I'm already here.
Because, yeah, I know that I caught the tail. Abby and I grew up in kind of the last generation to still use VHSs. Because
Are we in the dining room?
I don't know. Because I remember...
Oh wait, no, there's not.
Yeah, I remember using VHSs, but at the same time, most of my cognitive memories are of after Blu-rays or after DVDs became the norm. The most recent generation wouldn't know about phones with buttons. Endangered Misses VHSs. I do and I don't. Because I like I hated having to always rewind it. Mostly because, I mean, growing up, we had a dedicated rewinder, but that thing ended up destroying more VHSs than anything else. Ugh. I also, like, the VHS picture quality was not good. But at the same time, they were arguably a little more sturdy, at least physically, than discs were. Plus, I don't miss the full screen aspect ratio that VHSs were confined to. Endangered just liked how it sounded.
There's bombable walls back here.
Oh, cool. Endangered just really liked the sound of rewinding the tapes. Yeah, I could feel that. Although I don't... Okay, one thing I definitely don't miss about the era of, you know, cassettes and tapes. Ugh, portable music. Ugh, cassette tapes, especially in, like, portable Walkmans, were the worst. Walkmans in general just kind of sucked, in my opinion.
Okay, I missed a Korok.
Heck, I even remember... I remember I had so many enjoyably stupid cassette tapes that I'd listen to on my stereo that I had in my room. Like, I had 2 Alvin and the Chipmunks cassette tapes that I listened to ad nauseum. I had a special Power Rangers music tape that...
Don't escape the castle, okay?
Okay. I also found it hilarious to fast forward a movie and watch everyone move at, like, high speed. That's true, because fast forwarding a movie on a Blu-ray or a VHS or Blu-ray or DVD, it doesn't have the same effect, or it doesn't have the same visual style, or you know what I mean. It's like, let's see. Heck, I remember when one of our first DVDs I was watching, I was experimenting with the fast forward, like the different speeds of fast forward that a DVD had. I'm like, wait, I just got to the end of the movie in like 5 seconds at the highest possible, you know, fast forward speed. I'm like, that wasn't possible on VHS tapes.
Where's this Korok?
Let's see. Actually, I remember, so we actually got, like, the very first of the Star Wars prequels, Phantom Menace, was released still primarily released on VHS. It wasn't until Attack of the Clones came along that we got a DVD player. So I remember there supposedly was like, oh, you can see in the background of one of the shots in Attack of the Clones during the pod race scene that Casper, the friendly ghost, was in a scene. I don't think that it was actually meant to be Casper. And I remember I found a trick to spoof our DVD player or VHS player to run the disc in slow motion by just pressing the pause button over and over and over again, just to get it to run in slow-mo.
Oh, here it is. Jeez Louise, we have them in the wrong order.
Problem
Damn
is,
it.
I ended up ruining the VHS tape by doing that. It would have snapped the tape on VHS.
Okay, are you at the Lionel room?
Yeah, I'm at the Lionel room.
Okay. Glowing spot on where you at. Just south of the hall.
Actually, speaking of what's it called? Phantom Menace. I remember the DVD of Attack of Phantom Menace. It was like standard, like there was a few extra scenes in the pod racing scene that were just standard on the DVD version, but weren't there on the VHS. So we watched the VHS a lot, and then we got the DVD and then now all of a sudden,
Oh, you found it. Okay.
yeah, there was extra scenes in the pod racing sequence, and I'm like, is this magic? I would have, yeah. Then again, at least a VHS tape you could actually pause. Those old reel-to-reel film projectors, you pause the film, yeah, it's just gonna melt. It would melt the film completely. Like someone, I think it was in the movie Sinister, when the main character was pausing the film to look at it, someone pointed out, I'm like, okay, it takes like a whole minute for the film to start melting and catch fire. When it's like, anyone who's used one of those would know it would take 10 seconds for that to happen. I know VHS is one of the only places you could view the original cut of the original Star Wars trilogy.
Head to the east, okay. To the west.
Head for the exit. Where's the exit?
This way.
Oh, that's it.
Yep, holy.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Better get to the gate. Aw.
Let's go to the mall today.
Shut up. Yes, the king died. It was very sad.
Oh, hi-di-di-di-di-di-di-di-di-di.
What?
What?
Those poor sounds.
The sounds of the woods, the sounds of nature, the sound of silence. The sound of silence has been broken.
It has been for a while. Yay, we finished a quest.
Oh,
Oh, two quests. Holy shit.
huh? Freaking zaw.
Watch, this will now ruin that other quest.
Potentially.
Nope. We still have it.
Extraordinary!
Actually, I take it back. I think I think the original Star Wars cut was also released on Laserdisc, but not a ton of people had Laserdisc players.
No, Laserdisc was stupid expensive from what I heard
Yeah.
and understood.
Yeah, it's kind of like the same thing that happened with the Sega Game Gear and the classic Game Boy. The Game Gear was technically a hell of a lot better, but because the Game Boy was cheaper, little smaller, it was cheaper, little smaller, and used less batteries, it did better.
No. I will have to call it here.
Okay. This game is now called Here.
Oh.
Well, it was good having you. Thank you for joining us for another stream of Hyrule Warriors. And Laserdisc were a huge damn fad. You're not wrong. They were also really huge.
They were ginormous. Gosh, they were like almost record size, I swear.
I think that, yeah. But anyway, glad you could join us, and we're not sure when, but we'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Love you.